Finland's centre-right National Coalition Party has won the Nordic country's parliamentary elections. Incumbent Prime Minister Sanna Marin conceded defeat with her Social Democrats coming in third. Far-right leader Riikka Purra's Finns party was in second place. National Coalition Party leader Petteri Orpo is set to seek to form a new governing coalition.
Cheered by her party, even in defeat. Sanna Marin, Finland's youngest ever prime minister, bows out after a narrow loss in the general election. Not for a very, very long time has a prime minister's party managed to increase its support in the number of seats. This is a brilliant achievement, although we did not come first today. At just 37, Marin is Finland's most popular prime minister this century. But she struggled to convert her personal approval ratings into votes for her Social Democratic Party. Rising public debt and a cost of living crisis resulting from Russia's invasion of Ukraine has weighed heavily on the government.
Well, the economy in Finland is quite bad at the moment, and we need to find a way to get it better.
I think that we should not build this society based on taking more debt.
The Conservative National Coalition Party and its leader Petteri Orpo successfully capitalized on these concerns, coming first in the polls.
We are a clear alternative to the left-wing government, and people are very worried about our economy. And we had good program how to boost our economy, what kind of reforms we are going to do, and this was our message. We will fix our country.
The far-right, the Finns party, under their leader Riikka Purra, came second with an anti-immigration and Eurosceptic program, relegating the Social Democrats to third place. Orpo has said he is open to forming a governing coalition with either of his major opponents. Tough negotiations lie ahead.
And for more, we are joined now by Mikko Poutanen. He is a political analyst from Tampere University and editor-in-chief of the social science site Politiikka. Thank you so much for joining us. Sanna Marin is more popular than almost any other Finnish politician. Many Finns were happy with her work according to the polls, but she still lost. Why?
Well, thank you for allowing me to speak about the recent Finnish elections. And the reason why Sanna Marin lost is that the two crises, the major crisis, the corona pandemic and then the Russian invasion of Ukraine, had pivoted the Finnish political space into talking more about economy than previously. We've always had this undertone of being very frugal caretakers of our economy. And obviously, because of these two crises extraneous to the current government, the amount of debt grew considerably. Still, in comparison, Finland is in the middle caste in the EU, like not in a crisis mode really per se, but it showed how strongly the electorate resonated with the idea that now we have to focus on the economy first.
So now you have Finland's conservative leader set to become prime minister. Tell us a little bit more about him.
Well, Petteri Orpo has been the leader of the National Coalition for the last 4 or 5 years, in fact, and he is probably and perhaps not as conservative as the party profile would suggest. It tends to have pro-European attitudes and other socially liberal attitudes as well. But the party as a whole is perhaps conservative and as such a good fit maybe for the Finns party in terms of values. But they are not. It is not an impossible match for the Social Democrats and the National Coalition to find common ground to form a government together, but they will still need a third party to complete a majority government. So any sort of government coalition in Finland under the current constellation of parties always tends to need a third. So there's moderation and a lot of compromises and a lot of deal making that goes into creating a Finnish coalition government.
I'd like to ask you, let's turn to the international level now, because Finland shares a border with Russia. It is set to join NATO as early as next week. What impact will these elections have on Finland's foreign policy?
Well, as I said, because of the compromising, and even if the Finns party, which is Eurosceptic, if they are the government party with the National Coalition does have a positive outlook towards the European Union. So I wouldn't think that there is a huge shift in Finnish foreign policy. The NATO application was done in a common effort across the entire parliament. So that has wide support that is not partisan. It does not depend on any single party, and the foreign policy in general has tended in Finland to move very slowly. The NATO application is probably one of the largest and most significant changes of popular opinion in Finnish history in such a short time. But otherwise, it is to be expected that there are not huge changes in Finnish foreign policy, at least not immediately.
Thank you so much for that analysis. Political analyst Mikko Poutanen joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.